What's going on, people? JDBTv here, back with another video. I want to talk about this Kevin Hart situation. He was set to host the Oscars, right? He was set to host the Oscars. Now, apparently, he is now backed out of that because of some old homophobic tweets that were unearthed. You know, you would think that after all of these scandals with celebrities, they would remember, you know what? If I said something that could harm my career, I might want to delete those tweets. Now, maybe these guys legitimately forgot, or maybe he had already deleted them and somebody had already gotten those tweets. But it's come back to bite him. And he basically at first was like he had already spoken about this. He was not going to apologize for these tweets because he had already chose to speak on these before. Now, this is the direct quote of what he said. So I chose to pass on the apology. The reason why I passed is because I've addressed this several times. This is not the first time this has come up. I've addressed it. I've spoken on it. I've said where the rights and the wrongs were. I've said who I am now versus who I was then. I've done it. I'm not going to continue to go back and tap into the days of old when I've moved on and I'm in a completely different place in my life. And let's see, according to Variety, because I've been looking at this article as well, less than 2 hours later, Hart announced via Twitter that he was removing himself from the gig and he finally offered the apology everyone was looking for. So he was steadfast in not apologizing for this. Okay? And I want people to understand, analyzing some of the tweets, it did seem like he was going out of his way to emphasize, homosexuality and homo jokes, And if anybody knows anything about, like gay jokes or homo jokes or whatever you want to call them, I've seen those a lot. I used to hear gay jokes back in high school. Dudes will really emphasize certain things, and when you think about it now, or you think about it after that, you would think, why does these guys always making up gay jokes? It's like, where do you get this stuff? Why do you think about this stuff? Why would you tweet this stuff? And looking at the tweets, they were in joke form. It was almost like he was, how people use tweets to sort of, make jokes. This kind of reminds me of the James Gunn situation when he was, making, pedophilic jokes in his tweets, and he had pages and pages of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And with Kevin Hart, he basically had a long line of tweets emphasizing gay jokes. Let me just say this though. In the black community, homosexuality is used to attack black men. Our masculinity is attacked a lot, and it's usually from other black people. We've heard black women, call us gay if we don't agree with them, or if we speak out against them. We talk about the fake hair they like to wear, just in any time they disagree with us. Okay, they will make statements questioning our masculinity. Other black men will do the same. That goes on a lot in the black community. But looking at those tweets from Kevin Hart, it looked to me like he was overcompensating. That's how it looked to me, that he's overcompensating. Because me being over analytical, I look at those things. Like when you see people constantly projecting onto other people, They're trying to overcompensate. We see it a lot with religious people. We see it a lot with people in the so-called pro-black conscious community. They're constantly talking about white people this, white people that, white people this, white people that. And what ends up happening is people find out that that said person is biracial. That said person has biracial children because they've been with a white person. And they're constantly projecting their insecurities when they go at other black people who they don't agree with, and they call them out of their name. You know, and that's how, if you look at those tweets from Kevin Hart, it could be seen as a way he's overcompensating. He isn't the first one. I've seen other black people, you know, say certain words, you know, say certain slurs that it would be considered slurs now. People may consider them to be jokes, or, you know, just constantly trying to emphasize how they're just straight. They straight. You know what I'm saying? You know, and he went overboard with the tweets, but those tweets were old. You know, social media was a lot different back then. Social media was a lot different. Okay? You could get away with a lot more back then than you could now because social media wasn't the news. Majority of what's written on these websites is from social media because a lot of these websites don't have any content. They really don't. And nobody's watching network television as much anymore. So you have a lot of websites that are they have to get news and have to get it fast. They have to get news that people want to see. Okay? And people, for the most part, are gonna get news from social media apps, like your Twitter, like your Facebook, like your Instagram, even YouTube. You know, there are YouTubers who make news, and these websites write about them. You know, so now you have to be extremely careful if you are in Kevin Hart's position of what you say and what you do on social media. But what's very interesting, and I'm gonna read you the apology. What's very interesting is that Kevin Hart, he put on a dress. He put on a dress on Saturday Night Live. You know, he basically went through the humiliation portion of the careers that some of these guys go on. And I watch things very closely. You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But what I've noticed is a lot of these guys who are up and coming, you know, especially when they're black. You know, you have, you know, white, you know, non-black, this do it too, but mostly black men, they putting on a dress, they putting on a wig. It's almost like in order to be able to get mainstream, you have to sort of put your dignity to the side and put that dress on or put that wig on, you know? This is what he said on Twitter. He said, "I've made the choice to step down from hosting this year's Oscars. This is because I do not want to be a distraction on a night that should be celebrated by so many amazing, talented artists. I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words from my past. I'm sorry that I hurt people. I'm evolving and I want to continue to do so. My goal is to bring people together, not to tear us apart. Much love and appreciation to the Academy. I hope we can meet again." And that was from Kevin Hart. Okay. If he's addressed this before, I'm trying to figure out why, when he's about to host this show, it's a big deal now. You know, Kevin Hart is extremely successful. Extremely successful. But he has had scandal after scandal. People are always, you know, going at him. You know, people going at him because he's not too political. They're going at him because he's cheating on his wife. You know, now they're going at him for old tweets, you know. And the thing is that some of these guys, when they say things in their past, they may not think they'd be in the position they are now. Or maybe the world has changed, because it has. You know, social media is big to the point to where anything you do is going to be put under the microscope. Because all eyes are on social media. All eyes are on the things that go on with these celebrities. You know, why you think these gossip blogs have risen to prominence, that people follow them. All you have to do is look in the comment section of an Instagram post. People like gossip, you know. You know, it's interesting. People say that my content is gossip. My content isn't gossip. My content is about topics that people want to see, that I want to talk about, that are entertaining, that can be informative. But I don't go the realm of gossip. I don't gossip. I speak facts. Okay, that's the difference. I speak facts. I don't have to come back and make a retraction video or say, I made a mistake. Let me put this. No, I speak on all facts. And if I don't have facts to something, then I'm not going to speak on it. But I will speak on things that are entertaining and informative, because that's how you're able to grow on social media, And I'm not afraid to take those risks. Now, what you say on social media, let me tell you something. I've been on Twitter since 2012, okay? I haven't been as active on it in the last, I would say, 4 years as when I first started on there. But I was always conscientious of what I said, because I didn't want the things that I said, even on there, I said a lot of crazy shit, but I didn't want those things to come back and bite me. Sometimes you just got to have self-awareness as a celebrity. Now, Kevin Hart has done suspect things. He's worn the dress, he's kissed The Rock in a movie and all those things. And people have already had rumors about him, and there's always these people, these guys who are more conspiracy theorists who will go the extra mile to talk about why he's doing this or that. I'm not one of those guys, but I just think that Kevin Hart was trying to be funny, edgy, and trying to show himself as a masculine man, because in the black community, your masculinity is always challenged. And it's unfortunate, but that's what goes on in the black community. So let me know in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.